Alright guys, today we're going to start putting all the electronics together. As you can see, I've got my new buttons done. Nice and red, very clicky. So let me actually put these on real quick. These just push fit on here. I'm not going to worry about gluing them. They have such a tight hold. They should not come out. I would be very shocked. Clean that off. Alright. Those work good. Let's get our pieces put together. I'm just trying to go over this and make sure I know exactly how everything's going to go. Alright, so the Uno is going to go down here with self-tapping screws, and then our driver board should sit up here with self-tapping screws. Yes, it will. Nice. And this board, whoops, gets the fan on it, so it should mount through in here. Just trying to make sure all these holes line up like they're supposed to. It's hard to see. I can't see through these holes that well, which I know obviously black on black, right? But I feel like we should be able to see in here. Yeah, no, they're about the same. Okay. Well, we'll just start getting it put together. Let's get our directions. Whoops, I dropped something. Let me grab that one. Alright, we went into this lighting. This lighting is finished. If you watched the last video, it is already done. The wiring is done except for up here in the front. So we're not going to do this wiring just yet. Let's get this thing kind of put together somewhat. Alright, use a 16mm M3 screw and 4 threaded nuts to secure the fan. Alright, so I'm just going to use regular nuts. Let's see, does this thing have an airflow? Of course not. Why would it? I'd have to assume it's going to go like this and blow air this way. But we can always hook it up to a 5-volt power supply and see. Actually, I wonder if my LED tester will be enough, because we're not going to use this plug. We're just going to use the wires from it, and we're going to connect it to, I think we're going to be able to connect it to the board for the motor, because that has a 5-volt connection on it that we should hopefully be able to use for this fan. Let me see, why in the world did that flip around? Okay. Because he does say you can use the motor's power supply for this fan, so I'm going to try to use it just off this board, because if you look, oops, wrong way. So if you look, this is where we're going to connect the motor. The power in is right here. Some of the motor connection, I think all the motor connections are right here. Hold on, y'all. Let's take a look together. Oh, no, my bad. They're up here. So these are the motor connections. This is where your power goes in. These go to, excuse me, these go to the Arduino board along with the ground. And then this port right here, this enable stepper pin or stepper turn off signal pin, needs to get to a certain point on the not the Arduino, well, yeah, the Arduino Uno. So then we got this 5-volt down here, 5-volt and ground. I bet we could hook that fan up to that. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna see. I don't think it'll hurt anything. It's not gonna take that much power from the motor, really at all. But I guess let's see if this thing can do it, just so we can see which way the only thing I want to find out right now is which way the air is going. Jeez Louise. Okay, if I could do this without without bending those dang wires down. There we go. Really? Oh. I was like, really? Hey. Dadgummit. If I could get this freaking red wire to stay in there. You know what I'll do? I need to turn this on anyways because we're going to be soldering today. I'm going to tin these wires. That way they quit bending so much. But we'll go ahead and get these tinned up. The ground wire's fine. This red one, our power wire's being a pain in the butt. But I have 2 heat sinks ready for... Goodness gracious, my head. For this, I'm going to put them on this chip because I know, like he said, it does get extremely hot, which is also why we're using the fan. So I've got 2 little heat sinks for that. Those should be more than enough to help cool this fan off. I'm hoping, you know, as we start doing this in Mobiflight and stuff, we can get everything adjusted to where it's not pulling so hard and it's not... you know, and we're not putting a lot of stress and heat on the board. Oops, I forgot to turn my fan on. Need to get some new copper mesh in there. There we go, clean iron off. Alright. Now let's put it over here so it won't keep coming out so easy. Or apparently going in that easy. Alright. Huh. I feel like the air's going this way. Let's see if I have anything light that it could blow. It's not spinning that fast. I don't know. Maybe it will. Yeah. Well, let's try some of this napkin. No, not the whole thing. Let's try like a piece of it. Sheesh. I just people elbowed those off the table. All right. All right. So now we know. Label side for these fans, if you buy these ones, this is where the air's going. Okay. I know there's probably a way to tell based on the blades, but I don't know that. Oh, these are 12-volt fans. My bad, actually. So, we'll have to wire straight in. Woo! Up here. Okay. So I don't want to do that. I'll have to splice these into my my power wires coming from there. So we'll go ahead and get this threaded on here. Where are my screws? No, not those. I just bought a nice new set of M3 screws. Oh, here they are. I knew they were close by. Okay, he says 16s. Sweet, so we got some 2, 3, 4. Let's get some nuts out here. 3 and 4. We'll probably use washers too. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna use washers. We'll probably just use. Actually, we'll probably use washers all the way around. Just to help spread the load of that. All right, let's see. So M3 by 16. They kind of want to thread in there. Let me drill that out real quick so that way we're not worried about that. Because these are just holding the fan on. I'm not going to use heat inserts on these. All right. All right, cleaning my drill bit off a little bit. All right. Let's push that through. Ooh, that's actually really tight. So I'm going to use a little bit longer. These 16s aren't long enough. Yeah, we'll just drop some 20s. Those should be good. 2, 3, and 4. Let's see. How many do I have? 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, cool. First try on the washers. All right, let's get a washer on here. We'll stick this out the other side. All right, we'll just hand tighten it for now until we get all. Whoops, till we get all 4 of them in, and then we'll kind of go around. We're just gonna snug them down like we've been doing everything else. You know, you don't need to do anything too crazy. Right. Okay. Just doing one at a time. Beautiful. Oh, jeez Louise, I forgot the dang. Well, I'm looking right at the washers. I forgot the washer. All right, and 4. Beautiful. All right, let's try to get these tightened up just a little. We're not going to do anything crazy tightening with them. No. What in the world? This is an odd-sized M3 screw. No. All right. Let me go to my toolbox real quick and see what size this is. No, those are... Okay, what size is this? 2.5. Interesting. Okay. Thought I had a 2.5 over here. I must have put it somewhere else. That's a 3, 2. Let me go see if my 2.5 is in here real quick. It was. All right. Okay. Make sure I grab my tweezers real quick too. Turn little bit. All right. All right, let's see. Oh, that just spins it. Oh, it's this one. All right, I just want to snug these up. There we go. Do this one. We don't want to do anything crazy tight because we're just tightening plastic against plastic. And the last thing you want to do is start cracking plastic. Whoa. All right. And then we'll do this last one. All right. That looks great. That's in there nice and snug. Should put plenty of airflow onto this board up here. It'll be this one. Oh yeah, it looks like it mounts just like this. So it'll be right, yeah, it's right at the board. So that's good. Let's drill out these holes. Not all of them. Because we have some that are self-tappers, so we don't want to drill those out, but we'll drill out these ones that I'll show you. These ones right here that are for the fan, because you don't want them to have grip in that. You just want them to have grip in the fan mount bracket, so in here. All right, I think everything else is self-tapping. So let me go back to the page I was at. Yeah, so 8mm M3 flat heads. I need to see if I even have some. If not, I'm just going to use probably some button head screws or something. They should be fine. Let's see, do I have M3 by 8? I do have some. So we'll see. Let's see if these fit. So, oh yeah, those fit down in there. So I'll just use these. I'll just use these M3 by 8s. You can just grab some. So grab 4. I'm running out of them too. 4. All right. So we're not doing that just yet, though. We got to do stuff and solder and all that jazz. All right. So let's get our Uno mounted. M3 by 8 self-tapping screws is for everything. So for this, for the stepper motor, board, and all of that. Interesting, though, if I do that with this... Oh, it goes like this, my bad. I was about to say, if I do that, that's not right. No, this is right. Okay. M3 by 8. I need 6 of them. I don't have any M3 by 8 self-tappers. I have 6 and 10. So we will make that work. 2, 3, and 6. So these 6 go over here. These are, what are these for? The one that I pull these out for. Oh, I know what these are for. Goodness. All right. So let's get them screwed in. Just do these one at a time. Whoops. All right. Oh yeah, that's fine. It don't even come out the other side, so that's good. So the 10s will work as well. So, you just use what you got. You don't always have to go out and buy extra kit if you don't need to. So that's the good thing. Whoops. All right, let's get this on. And one more. All right. Snug these all down. Good. Good. Yeah, they're close, but they don't come out the top, so we're good. Let's do these two. Just trying to make sure I line it up before we get it started. All right. Whoa. Then we'll throw this one in. Okay, these ones do come out. Honestly though, we could probably use M3 by 6 millimeters in there. So I'm gonna take these out and put some M3 by 6s because this doesn't have to sit up as far. So let me get that out. And I'll put those back and grab some M3 by 6s real quick. Maybe? Jeez. Put those back. Look at these little bitty things. Look at that. Just a little bitty screw. We'll see if these should do the job. For what we're needing, they should be just fine. See how far they stick out the back. Oh, yeah. Whoops. Yep. Yeah, but they're fine. These should be just fine. I'm hoping to hear something this week about those work just fine. About all of my wood pieces. I'm hoping they're getting finished up. Oh. Because I'm excited to obviously get the cockpit and stuff built. Because I have a lot of stuff. I'm already almost done as far as like hardware goes. Especially now with doing this, and we've done the flaps and the speed brake. I'm working on a parking brake panel that I'm going to release for free for everybody, so you guys can have a beautiful one-to-one parking brake and stuff. So I'm excited for that. I believe I'm on the final revision right now. I'm waiting for the paint to dry on the panels before I can do the engraving and do my final tests. And if all of that comes up daisies, as Captain Canada says, then it will be published, and I will be so excited to show it off. It's very, very simple to build. It's something I've been working on for I don't know, a month or more, a few months. I don't even remember how long I've been working on it for. But I just got tired of seeing $300 for that panel and no other way to integrate the speed brake and the flaps and stuff without having to use their panel. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I made my own. I can put these on now, but I'm gonna leave them off for now because we need to wire this up. Obviously, I'm not gonna put the fan on here yet because that'll be in my way of doing anything. Oh, that's cool. It just sits right on top of the board. If the holes line up like that, that's great. But yeah, look at that. That's perfect. Sits right over it. It'll provide plenty of airflow to this stepper motor board. So that's fantastic. What a good design. All right. So now that we've got that done, I've got my screws ready for the fan board. So that's good. Yeah, see, he says, as this fan consumes low power, you can connect it to the motor power supply. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll connect it to, we'll daisy chain it off of those. Or, yeah, I might solder them to, well, we'll see. But it's going to have to, yeah, we'll probably just daisy chain it. So that's all good. So I'm just making sure everything is good. All right, so now we're going to start wiring it up. We need to determine exactly where... I don't know if he has anything specific other than for this stepper motor, which is obviously going to be very important how we wire it up. So let's get the throttle quadrant up here. I'll take this off for now because it's not important right now for this step. And I'm going to have to create some space and turn this around. Actually, I'm going to flip it on its back is what I'm going to do. So, just like this. What I want to do is I want to screw this thing down, but unfortunately we can't, because if we do, then we have to unscrew it all to put the fan on. So we can't do any of that yet. Okay. Let's see. Let me organize my wires. Okay, so these... Woo! Hold on, I'm kind of getting tangled up here. These wires, remember, are for my potentiometer on this side, for the right side throttle quadrant. This is for... These are for the... Woo! Don't worry, it fell on the table. These are for the rotary encoder way at the back there. This is for my other potentiometer, and then these are for the disconnect buttons up top. So we've got plenty of wire, and obviously these are all for the stepper motors, or stepper motor. All right, so we need to see how we're going to wire this up. The stepper motor is very particular. So the stepper motor is going to wire. Oops, the stepper motor is going to wire right here. Okay, my wires aren't red and black, just like his. But the red and black are going to be the power and the ground. So this will be the ground, and I think we'll just follow this way across. So, because this square should be the ground right here. Squares on these boards are usually grounds. Like, see, these are all grounds. I know these circles are ground, but they're marked. So I would have to assume that it goes like this. But I'm not too sure. Let's see. Alright. I just want to make sure we don't want this thing being screwed up. I know up here where the enable is, we're going to put a wire and send it to... Jeebers. Send it to one of the pins down here in the digital. Looks like pin 9 or pin 7. Looks like pin 7 and pins 3 and 2 go over to here. And then this ground is for up here as well. Yeah, for the step. Okay. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it like this. We're going to do the black wire because that's going to be the ground, and we're going to run it this way. So let's figure out how much we want. I want to give excess. I want to give a little excess because that allows us for when we go to, if we have to ever take this apart, we need to be able to have room to flip this up like this to be able to get the fan off to unsolder this. So that's as much as we have. So I'd rather give it like this much. Always give yourself extra. Because man, the last thing you want to do is skimp yourself and you're trying to take this thing apart and you don't have enough wire to do it. You're going to be so upset and frustrated. Alright, let's go ahead and trim all of these, tin them, and let's get to soldering. Let me move this board out of the way so I don't hit it. We don't need a lot off of these because they're going into the PCB. We don't want them to, well, I guess it doesn't matter. They touch plastic behind them, but I heard those fall in there. But the good thing is the other side's wide open, so they should, yep, they just fell right out. Okay. What I'm going to do, though, actually, because I said what I said about giving us room to flip, I'm going to actually screw this thing down just so it's secure. So again, he says 8mm self-tapping screws. I don't have 8s. So I'm going to use 10s. Whoops, at least a 10 to do this with. Yeah, these holes aren't big enough, so let me make sure I drill all of these out on the edges, not where, just like I did the fan. There's one you have to be careful of because it goes towards the back of the PCB for the Arduino Uno. Alright, I'll show you what I mean. So I would pre-drill all of these holes, except for these ones where the boards actually screw into. Don't pre-drill those. But all these outside holes, yes, because you want your screws to just be able to drop in like this and not screw to this piece itself, just to this, which actually they're not even long enough. So the 10's not long enough. Let's see. That is the correct size. Let me get, let's see, what do we have? Let's try the 14s and see what that's like. I'll grab out 4 of them for now. Because like I said, I want this thing secured to an extent while we're soldering, because otherwise it's going to be a pain in the butt to do this. Alright, that's good. Let me at least get At least 2 or 3 of these in. Oh. Why aren't you wanting to go? Oh. Well, that's interesting. That's not even the hole. Why is that like that, though? Huh. These holes right here don't line up with anything. Interesting. I don't think I have this mounted upside down. I looked at his picture. This is how it shows it. So we'll at least do 3. Alright. My iron went to sleep and wake it up. Alright. So these now need to be twisted and tinned and ready to go, because we're going to start putting this thing together. All right. Those are ready. The cool thing is they're stiff enough that we can just use them to hold themselves up. So let me get this up here. I gotta just make sure I don't overdo it up here. I don't want to flip solder everywhere. Let's do this. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. Just trying to do the blue one real quick as well. There we go. That's fine, and then we'll do this last red one. Whew, hot. Alright, let's see. We should have enough. Oh my god, I just trimmed them too short, didn't I? I thought I gave myself more than enough room, and I didn't. Oh my goodness. I thought it was enough. I was wrong. So now we're going to splice all 3 of these together. Or all, I need to make splices for all of these now. So that's my bad. Go ahead and cut the splices for them. That's alright. You guys can see what happens when you just make mistakes, man. I mean, it is what it is. That's why I said be careful how much you cut down. I thought I was careful enough because I even bent the wires over. I swore they made it, but apparently not. So what we're going to do now is we're going to splice these and heat shrink them together. So the good thing is I have wires that are basically the same colors. Alright, let's see. What are we starting with? Red. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to get our helping hands and tin these wires. We're just doing one at a time with what we're working with. So we're starting with red. I just threw the blue one, apparently, and the black one on the ground. I don't even know what they stuck to my hand. All right. Here we go. Oh, I need my fan on when I'm down here. All right, let's see what happens. We try to at least solder these together. All right, that went on really good. I'll put some heat shrink on them here in a minute. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to try to get these all done. Oops, let me move it over there. Before I put the heat shrink on. Oops. Alright, let's bend him up. Whoa, okay, I don't know why I was like... Okay. I'll have to get that later. Alright, let's do the green. Let's get it together. Beautiful. And we'll do the black. Ow, shoot. Dadgum, the rosin core from that just popped really bad on my finger. Alright. The only one I don't like really is this blue. See if I can get them to kind of sit better with each other. It started getting in the cover. All right, let me try that again. Okay, I might need some more solder. Let's see. Oh. Ah, dadgummit. Alright, I got that off. Alright, let's see. We just need these two to go together. What is going on here? Maybe let me get some more solder right here. Kind of get it on there. I'm not trying to glob it, but I need it on there enough to make this joint happen. There we go. I like that better. Alright, let's get our heat shrink. Put that down there. These are tiny wires. I'm going to use a whole thing of heat shrink on them because I want them to have the most security with us. Whoa, putting a splice in there. Dadgummit. Sorry. I bumped my dang head on there. There we go. Alright, let's just put it down here. Alright, make sure it goes over. I'm going to get it about halfway. That's good. Same thing with this one. Because with this putting a bigger piece on there is going to give us more coverage. Alright, that's good. This one's good. I don't know why I said that so early, right? My brain's going faster than my mouth, and my mouth's trying to run with it. Alright, that one's good. And now we'll put this black one on. Okay. Take our soldering iron and just heat it up. Alright. Alright, get out of here. Some of these wires try to be your friend. Alright, try to do a little bit of the sides. A little bit of the sides. Alright. Okay, now we got plenty of wire. Let's see what we need to do to splice this baby up, or to get this on here. I'm gonna keep some dang length on here, because this is all gonna be buried underneath the pedestal. I'm actually gonna keep some extra length on here now. So I'm gonna cut them about right here. Set those to the side. Yeah, we got tons of wire now. All right. Right, and then we have red. Okay. Let's tin these up. Get ready. One thing I am going to do, guys, in a little bit, after I tin these, I'm going to pause and I'm going to go look up the wiring schematic for this. I want to make dang sure I'm leading you guys right if you have these wires, and that I'm doing it right. There it goes. Ah, my finger. Okay. Okay. And then we'll do this one. Beautiful. Don't worry, I'm going to clean this solder up too. I saw where it landed. Last thing you want to do is have a short. Alright, so that's good, that's good. Well, daggum, I might not be able to get that up. You know what, we're probably not going to worry about that too much because I don't want to mess it up. Alright, I will be right back. Alright, so I went and got another cable because I bought a multiple pack. So this is how it goes. So how he has the picture is correct, except it's not black, red, red, black, or whatever. So it goes black, green, blue, red. So black, green, blue, red. And that's how we're going to do it. So we'll go ahead and actually what we're going to do is we're going to trim the tips of our wires up because this one's got a little bundle on it. But also you don't want them crazy long. So let me trim that up. Trim them all up, and I'm going to put some solder in these holes too. And we're just going to heat that solder up, push these wires through, and let it solidify, and that's how we're going to do this. So we're just going to trim all these wires up. Alright. Make sure we look at this too. So black, green, blue, red. So black's going to go first. So I'm going to feed it under. Oh yeah, let me tin my holes first. What in the world just... Oh. I was like, what in the world just flipped up there? Go ahead and get these holes tinned. Whoop. Get a little ball on them. Just a little bit. There we go. I'll actually go ahead and tin everything I need. So let me get my enable hole. Good. Power. Good. Good. We're also going to do the step holes. Alright. I think that's it for the stepper motor board anyways. Yes, it is. Alright, so now let's get our stepper motor wires. Bring it this way. What we're going to do is we're just going to heat it up. Push that through. And there it is. And so now we're going to go green. Just going to bring it down and around. Try to bring it next to it. We're going to do the same thing. Heat that solder up. Push it through. I pushed mine all the way flat. Boom. Now we're going to take the blue one. Get it in there. And now the red one. Oops, try not to touch the back of the silicone. And there we go. That is our stepper motor wired up. And that's looking good. I'm just pushing my wires up like this because I'm going to zip tie them actually. Not to anything, just to themselves. To keep them kind of up out of the way. Which actually, oh, that'd be nice if there was. I'll just zip them up like this though. Just to themselves. Easier to maintain that way. Boom. Because we want the fan to have as much airflow on this chip as possible. And I just noticed there's I got solder right there. Oh, thank God it just came off. Did it come out though? Might have to take this Uno board off and check everything out. That chunk of solder that came out, but it's off the chip. That's good. We won't have any shorts. Let's move those out of the way. All right, so now we need. I'm gonna do a white wire like he's doing for the signal, and that goes down to. It looks like 7. I know the 2 from this one go to 2 and 3. So let's see, 2, 3, 7. It is 7. Okay, I just counted the squares on there. And then the ground from up here goes to this ground right here. So that's what we're going to do. So let's do the enable, which is right there. Literally just to hop over here to pin 7. Just going to do a white wire for it. So we're just going to make this one kind of short because it's not a big hop. So from there to there. Give myself extra. Whoop, almost cut my finger off. You saw that? All right, we'll just peel a little bit off with our fingernails. I'm going to do both sides. So I can tin both sides. All right. Good, good, good. You know what I'm going to do, though, before I do that? Because it's going to drive me nuts if I don't. I'm going to take this Uno off real quick. Sheesh. I don't like, I mean, I get it why they do this, but I don't like that they pre-solder that on there. Just let me do it if I want to use it. It's like boards that come soldered with all the pins on them. That drives me nuts because it's like, if I want the pins on there, I can easily put them on there. If I'm doing soldering, I can put them on there. I get they do it for the convenience part of it, but man, give me an option without this crap soldered on here. All right. Oh, nope, I didn't get it. See, that's why I wanted to make sure, plus there's plastic in there. Right. I'm not worried about that. That's off to the side. It ain't going to hurt nothing. All right, now we can put this back in here. I'm honestly just going to do the 3 screws because of how bad that was bumping up there. And honestly, where's it going to go? You know what I mean? It's got 3 screws in it. It ain't going nowhere. All right, snug, snug. Snug. And we're just going to do one more. All right. I'm just going to ignore that one. We're going to leave it out because it's really not necessary. Okay. I will tin these wires, and I'll tin pad 7 up there for our enable wire. I should say not mine, but ours, because everybody's doing the same. Probably should have turned my fan on. All right, I'm actually going to turn it on and just leave it on because we're going to be doing quite a bit of wires. All right, let's tin pads. Actually, we're going to tin a couple. We're going to do 2, 3 ground and 2, 3, 7 and ground. Good. Good. I need to make sure 2 is good. Now it is. Good. All right, good. Let me do this side first. Beautiful. I'm gonna trim the tip of this off real quick. It's a little long. Beautiful. And now we'll get it ready to go into pinhole 7. All right, it's in. So that's good. And if need to keep this stuff out of the way of the fan, I'll just hot glue it down. Or actually, there we go. I'll just press it down. Boom. All right, now we need to do this ground and then these 2 wires. So I'm going to do a black wire for the ground, which isn't a long one either. Quick hop and a jump, right? All right. Then I'll probably do a yellow and green or blue or something to do the other 2 wires for it. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm getting so freaking excited right now. I'm so close. And if you're in this part of the video series, we are so close to being done and having this baby ready. Just do a little bit. And a little bit. And since we already pre-tinned everything, we are good to go. Ooh, you know what, actually? I'm not going to do that one first because I'd rather do them outside in, so my bad. Let's do a little yellow. Add some color in here. I don't think, does it matter which one goes where? Yeah, the outside one goes to 2. Okay, so we're going to follow his thing. So this one goes to 2. Okay. Give myself extra. And let me do, we'll just do a blue. Do a blue. Alright, beautiful. Did you guys see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to make sure my wires can all lay down and stay out of the way of this chip. He says it gets up to 60 degrees Celsius, which is fairly hot. I don't know what the exact translation is to Fahrenheit. I apologize. But it is, I mean, that's hot. You know, my 3D printer bed usually stays around 55, and that's pretty warm. So I can imagine 60, 65, 70 degrees Celsius, which I've printed some PETG, and the bed gets that hot, and that is uncomfortable for your hand. So I can imagine what it's like for electronics. So we definitely want to keep it as cool as we can. Get some solder on there. On there. Oh, that made a tail. Get off there. Get off there. Get off there. Alright. Everything is done. I think we're going yellow first. Just throw some color in here. Good. Then we'll go with blue. Okay, and now we'll put the ground on here. Okay, and then we'll solder from left to right again. ground, blue, which goes to 3. Okay. And then yellow, which goes to 2. Alright, and so now I can gently take them and just kind of bend them out of the way. Just gently. I don't want them touching that either. Okay, good. Oh, and then I have to have room for the fan. Okay. Should be good. Okay, we need the power, and then we need to do all our buttons and stuff. So, let's see. Looks like he's showing potentiometers. Yeah, potentiometers are going to be 5-volt ground and the analog pins. So that's what we're going to do for both of those. So we have 2 5 volts, 2 grounds, which I can actually just link them together and take up one spot as well. You don't have to, they don't have to have their own independent 5-volt. And then the rotary encoder is just ground and then 2 pins, which I think the rotary encoder is analog as well, or you can do digital. So it's all good. Let's see. Okay, this is for my rotary. This is for my rotary. And this is for my rotary. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and wire these up. Yeah, the good thing is everything in this outside wall is safe. So this just needs a ground and 2 pins. So I'll probably just do it as a over here on A5 and 4, and then we'll just do the ground somewhere down here, and I'll combine a bunch of grounds. For my potentiometers, I'll combine them and all that. Oh, geez Louise, I just realized that's not even in the picture. Hopefully you guys saw the soldering up here. Alright, so let's go ahead and see how much wire we need for this. So I'm going to give myself a lot. Okay. These 2 are the ones I'm most concerned about getting in here. Okay. Obviously these are going to be fine. I mean, everything is so long, but that's why we did it so long, except for me up here. I messed that up, but that's okay. It's an easy fix, right? So, let's get these peeled and get some solder on them. And we'll also pre-tin all of our holes down there as well. Okay, we'll get our ground wire. Get it ready. I might just... okay, I'm going to do the grounds last, because I'm probably just going to run them all together into one thing, because it doesn't matter. Alright, I'm standing up, because my stool's uncomfortable. Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead and tin my analog ports. Let me move this up some. All right, I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab my comfy office chair, just that way I don't have to keep standing up. All right, I got my comfy chair now. I should have brought this out here a lot earlier. Okay, so I was wrong. The encoder can use digital and analog. So actually, I'm gonna put it up here. I'll put it on 13 and 12. We'll see what happens. Because the cool thing about Mobiflight is if it's not going the way you... like it's not spinning the way you want it to spin, you just switch the pins around. So there's no need to fret and stress about which one goes where. You just swap them in the software. Beautiful. Alright. So that's the rotary encoder. That's the ground. Okay, this is my potentiometer. Throw that up there. Obviously, these have to go analog. For their sensor wire. I'm going to daisy chain all these together, though. So, let me see how much I need, and then we're going to cut the rest off. Okay. You guys can see, since the mess up in the beginning of the video, I'm definitely giving myself a ton of excess. Which is fine, it doesn't hurt anything. Okay. Good thing is, it just gives me extra little wires I can use later. Alright. We would do the signal wires last, so I'm going to place them up here. What I'm going to do for these is I'm going to take my grounds and I'm going to twist these ends together, and we're just going to use one ground and we're going to use one 5 volt as well. So, let me do this. I might have to strip some more off just to give myself some length here. Okay. That's okay. I'm going to strip this one. I need to be careful. My nail's breaking right there. So if I do too much with it, doesn't feel great. Alright, so we'll take these two. And I'm just going to twist this one around it if I can. I don't want to mess this one up because I want to keep one long because I'm just going to shove it down in there. So actually, let me just peel a little bit more off, actually. Give ourselves lots of room to work with. And then at the end, I can trim it up after everything is twisted together and soldered together. So that's good. Get a little bit more off of this one. Okay. Bring that up. and then twist it together. All right. It's going to be a little bit to get all these heated up. But once we do, they'll start pulling the solder in. Uh-oh. Just like that. And we'll get it tinned up. Actually get some of that off of there. You try to bring it down. You don't want you don't want a lot of excess on there. And again, like I said, I'm gonna trim these just a little bit to get those to go in together. Oh. So I need to tin my ground pads. I'll go ahead and tin my 5-volt as well. Okay. Okay. See about getting these in there. Sometimes the grounds take a little while because the pads for ground take a minute to heat up. Man, dang, that got really hot. I don't like that. It's like my wires somehow got messed up. There we go. That's straight. Let's try this again. Man, it just is not wanting to do it. Alright, tell you what, I'm going to do a different way that I know how to get all these to work. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to splice them all in at different points. I'll show you what I mean. So we'll have our longest wire that's going to go in, and then we'll strip down here, tie this one in, and then we'll like tie this one in like this, and then bloop in there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see where we're gonna tie this one in. Give it a little bit of slack. I'll tie it in up here by the 26 gauge. So we strip it. Strip this one, twist them, And then usually just twist them together. And then I'll solder them, and I'll throw some heat shrink up here. So, now we'll go ahead and throw some solder on there. Hopefully you guys can see. If not, I'm just soldering these wires together. Okay. Get some heat shrink. Which for that, it's probably going to need a little bit of a wider piece because we're going over several wires. So we'll just push that up. Get it about halfway. There we go. Just take our iron and heat it up. Just enough. Yeah, that actually worked out really well. Okay, good. That one's good. So now that one's good. So now we're going to figure out where we want this one, which is probably not much farther down. So, hold my finger there. Give it a little. Which doesn't need to expose a lot. Exposing that much is fine. Peel that off. And then we'll wrap this up as well. And that way this just gives us a singular wire going into the ground. So, take my soldering iron, heat this up. Whoa. Let it pull in the solder. There we go. Alright, we'll do another thing of heat shrink. Oh crap, I should have put it on there already. Damn it. Well, there's no point on that one. I should have put it on there already, but that's okay. So I should have had it already up here and then slid it down this way. That's my fault. But those are in. I'm not going to do that, obviously. The white wire I'm not worried about. These grounds I can go ahead and tie in as well if I want to. These are for your disengage buttons. And these ones actually, well, actually, you know what I need to do? I need to unsolder this. Because if I don't, I won't be able to do this properly. Well, actually, you know what? I'll just do those together. Because those are the last two grounds that go in here. So I'll just tie these two in together. That'll be fine. So let me go ahead and just undo this and get it ready to go. Okay. Tin it. It's good. Just dropped a ball on the table. Alright, now we'll just do a single wire in. Okay, let me put some fresh solder on there. That's just not wanting to play nice, and I don't want it to ruin this. There we go. And that one's good. This one is a little short, but it's got plenty to make it to the 5 volt. This one can go tie into it. So, what we might actually do though is have it tie into this one. Just up here somewhere. So, we'll strip our wire. Just like that. Twist it. And then we'll bring this one in. Cut that down. All right, we'll twist this in together. And these are the 5 volts for the 10K potentiometers. Sure, everything is good. Let's get some solder on here. All right. Get some heat shrink tube. I'll cut it down because I don't need a giant piece. Get that out of the way. All right, get that slid up there. This is really like the main one that I'm concerned. You know, you don't want your 5 volt and your grounds shorting each other out. So as long as this piece, oh, I touched the iron. As long as this piece is definitely secured, then we're good. So we definitely want to make sure of that. Let's see, I don't need a lot. Give myself some excess. And we'll go ahead and peel this. And get it tinned and get it ready to go. And then we'll do our signal wires. And we should be good. All right. Ah, my finger. Okay. That's 12 volt signal. These are for the potentiometers. And these will go down here on the analogs. Or the wiper is what they're called technically. Alright, let's get these tinned. Probably trim them just a little bit after I tin them. Just so that way they're not super long like they are. Set that down. I hate how that magnetizes like that. Just set it down real quick. Alright. Let's go left first. Just makes it easier. So we'll go A0.